do it. Take action. Regardless of how good you are right now, regardless of how bad you've been right now. I'm talking about right now moving forward. Those words will determine how you proceed. It would determine how much momentum and the force of that momentum that will carry you and push you through those toughest of times that we already know is going to come. So we already know it's going to come. We can't act surprised like, oh, right? We can't act surprised. We already know it's going to come. So the best way to overcome it is to be prepared. And the only way to be prepared is you stay prepared. Stay ready, so you never got to get ready. And you got to stay ready at Sales Remastered. So morning, everybody. Welcome back to Sales Remastered. My name is Daniel and I'm your host. And I got a question for you. Today is Thursday, April 2018, and I got a question to start out your morning, a question to get your juices flowing, a question to really put you on a train of thought, a question that's really going to test your limitations. And that question is, do you want to know a 5-letter word that can rule your destiny, a 5-letter word that can rule your future, your outcome? It can determine your tomorrow and forever. And so I want to ask you that question because it's oddly enough, you know, it is a 5-letter word, and there's actually more than one word that can really trickle throughout your life and determine how you're going to proceed forward from here on out. And it's interesting because the way I came up with this topic is that it has something to do with my, with my own personal daily goal and how I go about a particular goal. And the reason why I went about it this way was because I kept finding myself always carrying too much weight, meaning that I came in every day almost to the point where, like, dude, I'm done. I'm spent. You ever get like that? You ever pull up to work and just sit in the parking lot like, man, I don't know if I could do this today. You ever do that shit? Like you just can't wait to clock out and go home. And it gets so bad because when you're in that mind state, and I've been there plenty of times, where you're just kind of negative, you know what I mean? Like, you can't necessarily communicate with anyone around you. People are happy and cheerful around you, and it's like you wish and envy that because you wish you were back in that state, so much so that you kind of get mad at them for being in that state. And so I'm guilty of it. You're probably guilty of it too. Don't lie. And what I have found is that the faster that we accept this truth, of course we can adapt, make the necessary changes and move on. And that's where I go into, recommending like a morning ritual, working out, meditating, or what have you. Anyway, I got a follower from Instagram that, let me know about their day, right? And how he's doing very successful following the channel. I think I give him full credit because he's the one executing it. And he gives me a different perspective because, he's younger, he's new. And so he doesn't necessarily have bad habits, right? You ever heard the term, can't teach an old dog new tricks? And what they're referring to is because it's hard to change, right? It's like once you're set in your ways, it's hard to go back, or it's hard to do anything different. And this is why it's difficult for us to step outside of our comfort zone. But this episode is not about your comfort zone. This episode is about a 5-letter word that can really change your future. It can change your status. It can change the quality and well-being of your life, both directions though. Meaning that if this 5-letter word can change it for the better, or it could change it for the worse. Because if you disregard this 5-letter word, then it's like, what's the point of it, right? And so I want to bear it down. I want to dummy it down because, this particular follower on my Instagram shared with me, like, he's been getting his dub, which was like a compliment to me because that's my measurement system. That's my theme, with my own sales team, with the team that I work with every day. And we have this system called the dub system. And so every single day we aim for 2 points. And to make a point basically is either a lock loan or an elevated submitted file, right? Like basically a full file with all the steps in, ready to go, appraisal ordered, lock script done. And so that's 1 point, but also a lock is 1 point as well. And ultimately, the theme of that dub system is every single day you just aim for your 2 points, regardless of what happened yesterday, regardless of what's gonna happen tomorrow, regardless of where you're at based on your minimum quota or your monthly goal. Let's say you aim for 8, you aim for 10, you aim for 936, whatever the number is, you're breaking it down by the day. And as long as your focus is to get 2 points before you clock out, then it does something to you. It actually puts everything in perspective, right? Meaning that, okay, whether I'm here for 8 hours, or I'm here for 10 hours, or here for 12 hours, my only objective right now is within 12 hours, I need to find 1 lock and 1 elevation, or 2 locks or 2 elevations. Somehow, some way, I need to make 2 points. And what I found, just based on my experience, is that when I carried everything on each and every single day, what it allowed me to do was start the day fresh. Meaning that regardless of what happened yesterday, or even regardless of what happened that day. So let's say, at the very end, I only got 1 point. Well, I would have peace of mind knowing, hey, I did everything that I can within this period to get my 2 points. And I felt confident with that. And I didn't bring any of the defeat with me or the loss with me, because I know that by going through this daily system, I spent my hours there wisely. Meaning that I was only focused on leads that brought me towards my 2 points that day. Whether it was me focusing solely on leads that I can provide value to, or it was me pushing away leads that I clearly couldn't provide value to. So my actions are actually what put me closer to my 2 points. And I did this every day, every single day. Right? Regardless of what my points were yesterday, regardless if I was high yesterday in points or low in points the day before, regardless of what happened, I always had this certainty that every single morning I started over. And so, you might be saying, well, Dan, what the hell is a 5-letter word that's going to determine my future? I need to know. Hurry up. You're already 6 minutes in on this video. And I appreciate you guys' patience. I know sometimes it may take a while to get out to the punchline, but I have inside the body of the video, there's a message. And it's important that I share with you the reason why the title or the lesson is valuable in giving an example, right? And showing why this is necessary. But to answer your question, that 5-letter word is start. That's it. And I'd mentioned that there's another word that's also 5 letters, and it's almost the same thing. It's reset. So start and reset. It's a 5-letter word that can literally change the course of your future. Let me give you an example. So number 1, right now, today, wherever you are right now, there's a specific goal you have in mind, whether it's to kick up your business, whether it's to spend some time with your family, whether it's to slow down, right? Whether it's to give yourself credit, whatever it is, there's some sort of intent or goal that you have in mind, and it's sitting on you, it's weighing on your shoulders, right? And so we have to come to a kind of a line in the sand, right? Like this is where we start. Meaning that I'm going to do everything that I can to ensure that I no longer carry that extra weight on my shoulders, and I'm going to do what I set out to do. And so if your goal was to pick up your business and get off that negative mindset and get back on track, because the way the market's changing, the way business is changing, right? And you see people go in different directions. People start they start to go missing on your sales floor, and you start getting worried. You start getting you start drawing into yourself. And little do you know that all this paranoia or this internal dialogue that you have, it's exuding, right? And it's coming out, and so you're actually attracting what you don't want, because you keep focusing on that. And so my invitation to you is that you take this 5-letter word and you just start. That's it. Meaning you start to change your ways. You start to look at it in a different way. You start to implement the lessons that I share with you here at Sales Remastered. You start to take control of your destiny. And let's take the other 5-letter word and use that in an example. So reset. As I had mentioned to you, one of the main challenges that we have every single day as a salesman is to get not only attention, but just to get the momentum going, right? When I mean by momentum going, is that you're just looking for those boosts of energy, like the perks, right? Like everything that makes you yes. Remember when you were a kid and that was like the coolest thing? Yes. You'd roll that S, like that feeling, like yes. And sometimes it could be something as small as, hey, appraisal came back and value's good, or you're giving a call to a past client. Like maybe you go in the morning and you're in that state where you're just parked in the parking lot. You're like, dude, I don't know if I could do this shit. I really don't know if I could do this. And what's the most challenging is to start and to reset your mindset. But what I found work is that you call someone you haven't talked to in a while, whether it's a family member or a friend, or someone who you can confide with, and you actually just vent it out. And you can vent it out in different ways. You can tell them the reason why you're upset, or why you're not feeling in a good mood. And sometimes it just takes that reassurance, like, bro, you got this. Maybe you can hit me up, help@salesremaster.com. Vent to me. Let me know what your issues are, and I'll be more than happy to read through it and reply back directly. For those of you who have emailed me, I'll reply back, and I'll let you know what's helped me. So again, help@salesremaster.com. And why I think that it's important to change your mindset or reset your frame of mind is because the longer that we carry in the drama, or carry the drama period, from the days before or the actions before, the files before, is putting us in a position where we're more likely to fail again because of that. So not only did that drama cost us the opportunity to make a new sale, but it's also costing us in other areas too, like our mindset, our being fatigued, like your energy, your hustle, your demeanor, your tonality, your optimism, and then it follows you home. And so now it's ruining your relationship, it's ruining your ability to communicate, it's ruining your optimism and enthusiasm to be at home and experience and enjoy what you really work for. And so again, I've been in this state, I've been down that road, and if that sounds familiar, then you really got to consider those two words, start and reset. So today I invite you to start. Today I invite you to reset everything. Who cares about how many loans you did do or how many loans you didn't do? Who cares? Because right now, as of right now, this second that you're watching this, all that shit's in the past. Man, I cursed. I'm telling you, I'm working on the curse words, and that one just slipped out. But I will get passionate again, and sometimes those words may come out. But what I'm getting at is that, regardless if you mess up, just like how I messed up and said that curse word, right? And so, like I say, shit, there you go again. So I can do one of two things. I can dwell on that. It could throw me off topic, and I can ruin this entire video that I'm already 12 minutes in, which I appreciate your patience, by the way. Or I can continue moving forward and just continue with my message. And I'm choosing to do the latter, to continue with my message. So if this message made sense to you, if you're going to take the invitation to start, or if you're going to take the invitation to reset, whatever you decide to do, I just want you to do it. Take action. Regardless of how good you are right now, regardless of how bad you've been right now. I'm talking about right now, moving forward. Those words will determine how you proceed. It would determine how much momentum and the force of that momentum that will carry you and push you through those toughest of times that we already know is going to come. So we already know it's going to come. We can't act surprised like, oh, right? We can't act surprised. We already know it's going to come. So the best way to overcome it is to be prepared. And the only way to be prepared is you stay prepared. Stay ready, so you never got to get ready. And you got to stay ready at Sales Remastered. So if you like this video, let me get a heart. Let me get a thumbs up. Let me get a tag. Put someone on there. Let me get a feed. Let me get a comment on how this has impacted you and if it makes sense to you. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.